Friday being the Q&A day, question and answer day. The platform is open to all of you for your question and answers. Yesterday we did meditation, and for any one of you who do not understand the importance of hypno meditations, hypno meditation is something which gets direct access to your subconscious mind. Any problem that we work towards releasing or to identify where are our problems coming from, that all comes majorly from our subconscious mind. We normally believe that what is happening in my life is surfacing from my present. And we all want to live in our present. But what we don't realize is that our present is completely being controlled and being directed by our past memories. So no matter what, we require to identify that. And I'm not asking you to live in the past. Living in the past does not work. But I cannot even camouflage it, and I cannot even say that, oh, I don't want to look there. When I say I want to go to the root cause is lying somewhere in our past memory. Why is it that I feel in a particular way? Where did it come from? What could have been done differently? So that is why yesterday we made you visualize it in a very, very different way. The subconscious mind understands only metaphors. So any metaphorical representation also helps you to change your present situation. So for any one of you who did not understand why we did that, for me, hypno meditation is always the icing on the cake. So that's ideally like I work with the B technique, release, go to the root cause without client feeling overwhelmed about it, do Theta downloads and everything, and then do the hypno meditation as a longer imprint. So now if you guys have any problem, please ask. Like you can raise your hand and then Mehak will. I'm surprised no one has any question to ask. If nobody has any questions to ask. In life, there are so many questions. When people call up for any inquiry, they just go on asking questions for one hour. And when you actually come and ask them that, do you have any question? Please come and ask. Please come and ask. Okay. Since nobody is asking question, so we have started receiving feedbacks from you guys of your journey with Daily Theta Styling Studio for 1 year. And it has been like really fantastic to know what changes you have experienced. We will be deciding on the last day. There will be like, based on the maximum transformation that we see, there will be, as we had announced, there will be 3 prizes. Because on 5th April, Sesta Healing Studio finishes 1 year of our journey together of Daily Theta. So it's I would call it the journey of transformation. Because anything which I follow with discipline and I have been doing every day, if every day I have been programming myself with a new thought pattern, it becomes my new way of thinking and it becomes my new way of acting. And when I'm actually doing it, it has to show results. There is no way why it does not show result. There are times people realize that the results and that, there is a lot of change which has happened. There are times people actually don't realize it. So I remember a client had come to me with the problem of him having like a lot of joint pain and knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain. And he said, whenever I do my yoga exercises, it pains me so badly. I cannot do this, I can't do that. And though the first session we take the entire case receiving, so like I asked him, like, would you like to work on your finances first? And I do see the connection of your finances with your health issue. So I would personally suggest you that let's work on your finances first. Automatically, your pains will disappear. But to him, it didn't register. In spite of me explaining 3-4 times, he was like, no, money is an issue, but it is okay. I don't want to work on my money issue. Like, nahi hai paisa, but hai, like, I don't have, I have it. I would like to work on my health issue. And we always give a choice to client of what they want the resolution for. I said, okay. So I said, tell me how frequently is this pain? How do you describe this pain? How much is the intensity of the pain on 0 to 10? And he described that almost on 9 or 10, when 10 is the maximum. He described the pain coming to him minimum 6-7 times in a day and all. And though we personally prefer taking one at a time, but I did take like 2 or 3 of those pain together. Like if your back is also, shoulder is also paining, back is also paining, your knees are also paining. So I said, okay, I'll be focusing on this one, but we will take all of them together. So at the time of the session, obviously the pain came down to 0. The question is, after the session, what is the impact? So he came to me, I think, almost after some 1.5, 2 months. And so everything is written in the diary. So I said, how are you feeling? He said, no change. Nothing changed. It's still the same. I said, doesn't matter. Like, it's not necessary for the first time. We will work on that and we will release that. So I said, tell me, like, how much is your this pain? He said, what pain? I said, you have shoulder pain, right? He said, shoulder pain? No, now I don't get it. I said, but you used to get it this many times. Oh, yeah. But okay. So then we went to the second pain. So all the pain had actually gone. I said, but you just told me that nothing changed. He said, yeah, nothing changed because now when I do yoga, I don't get pain. So how do I tell you anything changed? I'm like, I don't know what to say. Do you have anything to tell them? I said, yeah, that time I used to feel the pain when I used to do yoga and exercise. Now I don't get the pain. So nothing changed, right? I'm like, okay. So that is the second category of clients who the life takes the turn, but they don't even realize something which is so much quantifiable, because the pain is something where you can quantify it. It's very easy to quantify. Emotional pain is difficult to quantify, because emotional pain is something where, people find it very difficult to quantify, but the physical pain is something which is very easy for you to quantify, or something which is actually quantifiable, like, money and all. And I said, okay, but now that, to continue with his story, and these are live examples of the client, like, I said, now that you do not have anything while yoga, what do you want me to work on? Because that is something we cannot work on. So let's call it off today's session. No need for a session today. He said, no, let's work on my finances. Actually, that's a lot of problem. I'm like, sure, we'll work on that. So it's a human mind. Many times we are in the denial and defense. Even if someone is actually coming and God also comes down and offers us something, somehow the thing that we are finding it difficult to work on, we resist a lot to change. How much ever people come and say, like, obviously, who doesn't want money? Who wants cancer? Who wants this problem? But what I understood in this last 20 years of my journey, mind and body are so interconnected that whether it is a 4th stage cancer, whether it is having financial debts on the head, whether it is having relationship issues, everything is somewhere we have attracted because of our own subconscious mind, have stored certain thought patterns and beliefs. And obviously those thought pattern comes because we have gone through certain experiences in life. Now, majority time we believe that these experiences are the one which we are talking about. All the time we are talking about them. This person did this to me, they did this to me, that happened to me. And we remember it does not go out of our memory bank. We forget our past words, we forget locker numbers, we forget the most important things, but we don't forget that when I wanted this 10 rupees, they did not give me. We don't forget that, they spoke to me in this word. People remember those words very, very well. These are the words which has a very long lasting imprint with us. And we do believe that they are the one causing problem to us. What I realized in this 20 years is that they are not. The problem is coming from some memory, probably. You do not even have a conscious recall of that. You may not even realize that something, some small incident, which logically now when you think about it, you yourself will find it very funny that, yeah, so this happened. So what if I was 1 year old and my mom refused to give me ice cream? So what if my teacher said that? But in reality, that was the root cause. That is called like where the inner child in you got disintegrated. And there are many other technical things which happens. And then the entire saga continues. It's like a vicious circle in which we get very, very trapped. Many of us do believe that my parents did everything correct. My parents cannot be wrong. They give such good values to me. It's not a question of anyone giving you right values, wrong values, being partial to you, non-partial to you. The realization is that a part of you did feel hurt as a kid, and that is causing you to have problems. So, for example, the first case which made me believe in the alternate healing modality, which I have mentioned many times on the platform of the genetic disorder. His body couldn't produce cortisol. This child remained in the ICU unit for 11 months. 3 years it took all the doctors to diagnose the right problem. The child, anytime you ask, was very connected to mother and will always mention, I love my mother. I love my mother. I love my mother. But the day I called him for the session and we started what we call in Theta healing digging. This question, after 45 minutes of that questioning, is shouting and screaming and saying, I hate my mother. Doesn't mean the first statement was wrong and doesn't mean the second statement of I hate my mother, he actually hates mother. But I was very delighted and very happy now that it has come on the surface that I hate my mother. Why do you hate your mother? Because when I was in the ICU unit, my mother is never there for me. She never stood by me. Probably he doesn't have a recall of that. When he was born, he is in the ICU looking from the glass window are those parents who are equally helpless, but child doesn't understand that. Is the root cause of all the problem. And that is why child hates the mother. Because you are not there. Doctors are coming, injecting me, taking blood tests. You are doing nothing about it. The child understands it now. This is something which happened to him. But to all of us, somewhere, we also have gone through the experiences where our brain is not yet developed. The logical skills have not yet developed, and we start believing into something. And that is causing us constantly to have problems. So my request to all of you is whenever we do the release sessions, whenever we are doing any hypno meditations, I ask you to visualize any image which comes and put up any of your loved one in a negative role. Please don't run away from it and don't tell yourself, I'm such a bad person. They have done so much for me, even in spite of that, I'm thinking negative about them. That does not define you thinking negative about them. But the minute you allow that memory to surface up and get cleared and cleansed, it works like magic. I'm sharing this because a lot of you have enrolled for Generation Gap workshop. There will be huge releases. There will be hypno meditation for each one of you every day. Every day there are meditations. There are certain meditations which are for 35, 40 minutes. And those memories, please let them surface up and let them move out. Because the problem is not in the memories itself. Problem is in the perception attached to that. Problem was not that the child was in the ICU and the mother was standing outside. 11-year-old child understands they were not allowed. My parents were also in pain. They are doing so much for me. But a newborn child does not understand. Newborn child felt unloved, unwanted, lot of hatred. Emotions are still the same. And that is causing us to have all these problems. Any one of you ever thought of aborting your child? Ever had any discussion when you are pregnant and like in the house somebody said something? It does not matter how much love you have showered to your child still feels unloved. That memory needs to be resolved. Do you know, like that 9 months in the womb is 90% of your life beliefs you are getting programmed. Just those 40 weeks, 90% of what you believe you are getting programmed by that. When we teach past life regression, if you cannot go to past life, but if you go to the womb memory, fantastic. Because majority programming is coming from there. It will automatically resolve a lot of your past lives also. So as our healing will continue, don't judge yourself for why I thought it this way, why I thought it that way. If it comes up and you just release it, you are free. They are free. And in fact, you have a much better relationship. Does anyone have a question, or we will talk a little bit about work-life balance? Yes. Yes, sir, when you do like this, if I can see it, otherwise people don't understand. You have to put a thumbs up. So Mac understands. Otherwise, when you do this, if your screen is open and if I notice it, yes. Please unmute yourself.
Ma'am, yesterday's meditation, the hypno meditation, I saw one the image of an old woman whom I don't know.
And
it came right in front of me and then it went, but I don't know what it meant.
So exactly at what time did you see that old woman? Like, did I, like, you know, was there any particular command that I had given you at that point of time?
Sorry, I don't remember, ma'am.
Okay, was that at the initial or later?
Later, little later.
Okay, and how did that old woman made you feel, good or bad?
No, I was very shocked. I started to think then, that what could this be? And I didn't feel good. I think my whole body, I was feeling kind of shivers.
So I guess you probably thought about it when I made everyone visualize the cake and like how every person requires a different share. That, you know, someone wants to eat a bigger piece of cake, someone wants to have a smaller piece of cake. And based on that, like similarly in life also, to some we need to spend little more time, to some we need to spend little lesser time. Like probably we want to spend some more time for our some activities and all. In my understanding, probably it is one of your ancestor which is causing, which demanded their part of it, which is being
Okay.
ignored in your family,
Ah.
or which is being ignored unknowingly by you. And that makes you think that why is it that I am in a mess in life? So because I was helping you guys to create work-life balance, this ancestral energy surfaced up when you allowed and you said that, I mean, I know like whom to give how much share.
Could be, yeah.
So this ancestral energy surfaced up, and probably I would see it as a very positive sign, Jaisal, because now that you are aware of that ancestral energy, even in your thought pattern, if you say that knowingly, unknowingly, because see, understand, like there's only one language, the language of love, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to verbalize it. They still understand. So knowingly, unknowingly, like, anywhere, if you felt I have been disrespectful or I did not do anything, please do let me know about it, but in a way where I don't get scared or not threatened by it. I have not yet reached to the level where I can hear or see you, but please, I mean, give that message to us and we will do the needful for the same.
Okay.
Or like many families do have their Kul Devta or Kul Devi. And I mean, this is a very major part. Many times I've seen clients getting stuck and they're not getting resolution. The same to that steroid guy, once during the session, and I was very new as a therapist, and suddenly the mother's voice changed and she started talking, and like, I am a topper in university level for my Gujarati, and I couldn't understand that Gujarati. Like if my poems, people will not understand. If they understand my poems now, they actually tell me, I think your level has gone down because otherwise we couldn't understand your Gujarati for years. And imagine I couldn't understand what she was talking. It was like a very, like, some very different kind of Gujarati. And like, number one, I was so scared, like, because it suddenly changed and somebody's voice changed and they start talking different language. And I am like, I want to run away from my therapy table, but I'm like, no, I mean, she is my responsibility. And that time I remember that energy just came and just mentioned that these people had a fight in the family, like between some brothers and all. And it just said that they never do any light a diya for their Kuldevi, or they have a Kuldevta, and that's why the family, that it clearly mentioned child doesn't have any problem. I said, but all the medical reports, doctors have conferences, and you are saying child doesn't have a problem. Said, no, a child doesn't have a problem, but they don't do this thing. And I had found it very funny, but I mean, to safeguard me, I mean, the entire session was getting recorded. It wasn't something which I had said. And, then I called a husband also, and I said, look, I do not understand any of these things, but this is what came during the session. This is the recording. Please listen to it and tell me, like, whatever messages have come, is this true? And this has actually happened. And he said, yeah, there was a fight. We don't do any DRs. We don't do. I said, please go ahead and do that. That would be my recommendation. Then rest is your choice. So Jaisal, I see like yesterday was a turning point for your life. So probably the answers which you are not getting for many things, why am I in this particular problem? Why are things not changing? Why things, that intent would have gone so strongly to the universe, and during our releases, you would have released a lot. Because it does not matter whether you are working on work-life balance, whether I'm working on your finances, whether I'm working. Understand, when I'm working on finance, your pain can suddenly stop. Because like feeling financially insecure might be causing you pain in your back. So that's why I always tell you guys that, I mean, be present. And because when I channelize, whoever is present on the group, I channelize for them. So you somewhere have released and that has come up on surface. And now it can be a small puja, doing a diya or something, you know. So when you will do that, probably you will see things changing drastically immediately. I haven't scanned, but that is what the thing I'm getting very clearly.
Okay.
It will come to you, like it will come to you. We, in fact, during the sessions, sometimes, you know, if something we tell them, like at times people just see one particular lady for 1 year, and then that image would stop there. And she would always describe a lady in the white sari with open hair. And before she was getting engaged, her the boy whom she was saying, like, you know, I mean, it was arranged marriage. She had never met him before. But she insisted that if you want to get married to me, you need to go to my mom and take session. If she will approve you, then I will see whether to say yes or no to you. And this guy came from Switzerland to take a session. And to my surprise, the minute we started BN, I said, what is the first thought? And he said, I see a lady in a white sari with Anu's hair. And I'm like, no wonder. For 1 year, I am getting this lady every time. 1 year, it didn't stop. And both of us used to, like, you know, there's a ma'am, and like, she was such a dedicated client and student. And I'm like, so there is always interconnection.
Okay.
It happens for a reason.
No, I thought it was some imagination, you know.
No.
It just came for a moment and went away.
This is a very deep meditation. It is a very deep meditation. The only thing you guys need to do is you're not working together. Otherwise, the benefit doesn't come to you. It's a very deep meditation. It actually programs you. It actually starts changing. People come, we program them for procrastination, and then they just next time come and says, I don't know what happened to me. I never used to do that, but now I immediately get up. I am into action. It does. You program them for not to have junk food, and they say, I go till that fried food table and my hand just doesn't reach there to eat that. And automatically something pushes me and I go towards the salad counter. They are very, very powerful. Okay. So just whatever I've asked you, do that. It would really help you.
Light a diya?
No, not light a diya. You first put an intent to the universe, and like as if you're talking to that figure and saying that I'm really sorry that, you know, yesterday I got scared and I couldn't communicate with you. And I guess you have learned B or Theta level 1? B. Okay. So probably you can even do B, and like, you know, what was that message for me? Why did that? What was the metaphorical representation of that white lady? What is the message for me? Okay. And the intent is to the universe, because you are not ready to go directly to hear from that lady. So like intent is to the universe, that universe, whatever was the message, it comes to me easily, which gives me the resolution for my current situation of this ABCD in my life. It will come to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anybody else has any questions? Pala and Vimla ji. Yes, Pala.
I cannot unmute. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, Sangeeta.
Good morning.
No, actually, last Sunday I was doing some process with somebody else, and I got immediately during the process, completing the process, I got my right leg and my whole half of my body all numb, completely numb until I thought something went wrong. Then I told her, and then she released it, and 80% was okay. Then after yesterday's Hypno Meditation, during that night when she did the release, I dreamt my past life, one of my past life, and then I saw a lot of anguish and like fear and all that. Then the pain, the numbness was there, 20%, although 80% release. But then yesterday, after the Hypno Meditation, I suddenly got my right leg, the numb plus very sharp pain, and my arm, and this arm is also numb, my hands also, and also pain. So this pain was addition yesterday. So I just wonder, is it related?
something has been unresolved in your session, whomsoever is the therapist, wherever you have got it done. I guess you need to ask that therapist, and something is still unresolved there.
Okay. But the pain, I don't have a pain. Only yesterday after the hypno, I got the
No,
pain.
but then that would surface up again and again whenever you are in a meditative state. There is a chance. So like probably like when you got the pain, she just released the pain, but she did not go deeper to ask why that pain has surfaced up. Some memory where you had got numb, as you said, you saw your past life. So some memory, sometime past life memories surface up and where you had become very numb. But then there are a lot of processes attached to that, like what had happened then, what did your higher self said, why did you attract that, then the energy of the other people that you may have taken in, what could have been a different way of living that life, was that a destined event, or was that not a destined event, was that your destiny, or it was a free will. And it does, resolution is longer technically, because I get a lot of clients coming to me, and they have been to other therapists many times and all, and they say, I have seen my this past life, I have done that. I said, it is good, but what was the resolution? You just tell me that. You do not need to describe your past life to me. They said, no, resolve, so we didn't do any resolution, like it came up and then session was over. So many times if something surfaces up and you have not yet resolved, it is not good, because it's like opening up somebody for surgery and the wound is still open. So yeah, you need to, the resolution is very, very important, to identify every smallest details of it. And whoever is a therapist is accountable for that. So like, you better go back to her or him, whoever like is your therapist, and say that, this is happening to me again. Can you please resolve that? Or else like book a session with some other therapist, and again, like you require to take the session and resolve that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Require one-on-one sessions because it's surfacing up.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Bala.
Thank you.
Yes, Vimla ji. Yeah, please unmute her. Very good morning. Unmute Vimla ji. Yeah, now you are unmute.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I want to ask you, after the meditation, I saw through and through the meditation, I did not sleep anywhere. But the whole day I was feeling like puking and loose motions and gaseous feelings and all that. I was feeling so drained out. I was really lying down only in bed most of the day.
Yeah, so two things. Number one, your body needs a lot of salt and sugar. Number one, salt defines that the taste of life has gone. Sugar defines sweetness of life has gone. So when the taste of life and the sweetness of life has gone, obviously work-life balance is not there, and a lot of anger and resentment which you had suppressed, and I guess not even suppressed, repressed. When suppression remains for years, it becomes repression. What you have repressed during that time came up, and which had to, like, you have to throw it out through vomit or something. So probably your body chose the physical release easier for you than you emotionally crying it out or releasing it, because then you are logically blocking it. And because we worked on bringing the balance back. So like, my dreams, my desires, I want to do, because there is one line I had said that some of you may have dreamt of wanting to do, but you invested all your time into your families. And some of you, I have invested all the time in the work and did not have time for the families. Probably you went in the category of like invested all your time in the families and all. But, I'm in my own dreams, desire, I wanted to do something. I wanted to like speak it out, but I could not. So now I vomit it out. Understand, like whenever there is too much of pitta or something, it is the acid. Acid is always sourness of the relationship. When you go deeper in the sourness of a relationship, it is bitter. The bitter truth which we are unable to digest. Now I can't hold on to it for a longer time. So I would just, my body will like let it come up. So ideally, rather than like going it down and through your stools, passing it down, which doesn't hurt. This is hurting you. But then it comes out and you feel energy less, because that is a state probably you felt in the past many times. You ignored for a very long time. So mind and body work simultaneously all the time together. Any physical resolution will also help. So just, even if you are feeling better, go on consuming salt, sugar after a while, little bit and all, and just allow yourself the relaxation or something. And probably if you still wish to have something in your life, a career or like worthiness, you can buy this meditation. You can contact Sesta like Mahek and buy the Hypno Meditation of working with your best potential, where I have worked on worthiness and everything, and start listening to that. Then you may not need to release. It will start reprogramming you.
Okay.
It will start reprogramming you. So you just buy that meditation, and just even night when you go to sleep, just put the headphones on and just go to sleep. Doesn't matter. You don't need to get up. You are actually in a very deep trance state, and it starts reprogramming you. That would be my suggestion. And that's why huge fluctuation when it happens. So many of you like actually go through a physical release also. And what you went through is a physical release.
Yeah.
What you are in, if you have created a very strong facade and you are not allowing anything to come in, because see, everyone wants to get healed. But a part of you is very scared that, this is my comfort zone. At least I'm comfortable here. I've accepted. But in reality, the minute your soul gets to know that, oh, there is something better, your soul will make sure. And then they are like, okay, all the toxicity, let it come out. So that's what happened to you yesterday.
Yeah, I was consuming electrolyte water, and I had lots of sugar and salt. I understood that the detox was happening yesterday, but I still felt like asking you again.
And a cold pack or something, or just a napkin in a cold water and put it on your stomach. So gut or the navel chakra is the fear of unknown, what we store there.
Yeah.
And then there is a lot of heat getting generated. A lot of heat got generated in your gut. Like the body had a lot of heat at that point of time also. So even if simply physically you will pamper it by just putting it there and just, lying down, listening to the music that you like in the air condition, you will start feeling better. But imagine the things where, really makes you happy. If anything where you feel like crying, that is also fine. So one of the good ways is many times the emotion that surfaces up, just accept it. You have learned B, Vimlaji, you have learned Theta, but this point of time, many times, because now you have already reached a particular level. Just accept it. Even if it is, anger, accept it. Okay, I'm angry. Do not tell yourself, why am I angry? So there are like different releases at different time. Probably you have reached a place where you just accept it. Automatically the phase will go, underlying another emotion will surface up, then underlying. That is a process which I cannot guide everyone on this group, because everyone is not on the same wavelength. Whenever, if the guidance will ever come, I will do that process with you all. So just be in acceptance of that. Be in acceptance of that. Do nothing. You do nothing. I want to release. I want to know my learning. Nothing. Okay, this is what I'm accepting it. Automatically in 5-10 minutes, underlying another layer will come. Suddenly you are sad. Suddenly you are very angry. Suddenly you are this. Till you become very happy on your own. Or I guess like whenever you already have booked a session, like I will do that with you. So you will go through that entire release very, very beautifully. But for now, please do these two things. We'll pass healing to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? It's already 9:40, guys. No more questions. So just passing healing to all. Creator of all that is, it is commanded that each one present now allow themselves the grounding with the Mother Earth and alignment with Creator of all that is, and that it is completely possible for each one. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And please, whoever has not shared their story, if you have a wonderful story to share of this 1 year of transformation, prizes are really nice. I have kept it as a surprise. There are 3 prizes. And that best stories, you can put it in a video format. You can put it in the writing format. We'll choose those 3 stories for it. And April 5th, we will be announcing the winners' names on that day, and your story also, what you have given, will be shared at that point of time. You yourself will speak up about your story at that point of time. And so please, and they're really nice prizes. So do definitely write down your transformation story, because you got inspired by that. You have done the releases for yourself, and that's why the transformation in you. And when other people hear, you also become part of their transformation. So do share your stories with us. Thank you so much for joining. See you all on Monday, 9 a.m. Thank you.